some stretches that you can do while sitting down. These are good for people who have bad balance, people who have heart problems that get dizzy easily if you're standing and working, people who just don't have the strength to stand and do a stretch. You can do these leaning against a couch, leaning against a cabinet. You don't have to have any equipment. So the first stretch we're going to do is we're going to lean back against the wall or whatever. I'm going to lean on my hands. I'm going to put our feet out, and we're going to touch our heel to our toe. Our heel to our toe. This is just warming up our legs so that they are getting good blood flow before we stretch. You don't want to stretch cold muscles. So do a few of those. I'm already warm because class just finished, but I would say 10 on each foot. And then we're going to touch our heel to our shin or our knee, whatever you can reach. If all you can reach is like a little higher on the foot, that's not quite the toe, that's fine. The goal is to bend the knee. So lean against whatever your support is. Touch with a bent knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can sort of work your way up to the knee. From here, we're going to still have whatever we're leaning against to help us. We're going to spread our legs as wide as is comfortable, and we're going to reach one hand at a time. 1, 2, so you can keep a hold of like the cabinet or whatever and push yourself forward. You don't want to hurt yourself. If there's pain, that's where you should stop. Don't go past where there's pain. So I forget how many we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and lean back against your rest or on your hands. The reason we lean back after we stretch forward is to let those muscles relax. So we've worked the front of our leg by lifting. We've stretched the back of our leg by reaching. Next thing we want to work on is the outside of our leg. So we're going to tuck our feet in, bring them as close as you can. And again, if you have a counter or something you can push against, that's wonderful. A lot of people have trouble with a butterfly stretch. This is a butterfly stretch because they want to fall backwards. So if you can grab your feet and use your feet as leverage, push down with your elbows, stretch out the outside of your leg and your lower back. If this is not an option, you can push against your counter or your wall or whatever to sort of push yourself forward. Then we're going to put one foot out and we're going to lean towards this knee. So our foot is in. When we lean, this hip wants to come up off the ground. That's what we want. This is a easier version of a pigeon stretch. So have your foot as close or far as you would like. Generally, closer is easier. And you're going to roll both hands on the floor. If you can, you want your foot a little further away and roll to the top of your foot. But then we're not sitting down. So this is perfectly fine. We're still turned, we're still stretching the outside of this leg. Lean down. I'm going to sit back down. You can lean back against your couch or cabinet or whatever you're leaning against. Then we'll do the same on the other leg. Bring the foot in. Reach and lean towards your knee. Try and turn your shoulders. Stretch. The further your foot is from your hip, the more of a stretch you get. So if you go here, That's more of a stretch than if you go here. We still have our counter that we're leaning against. We're going to turn, and you put your shoulder against the counter or the couch, whatever you have, and we're going to bring this foot here, and we're going to turn away. So all you need to do is turn your hip towards the counter you're leaning on, and it will stretch here as long as your knee is bent. If you want more of a stretch, you can grab your ankle and pull it in. You can turn up. But that's a bit more advanced. It's perfectly fine to leave your foot on the floor and turn. When this leg was straight like this, we were stretching the outside of this leg. By bending this knee, it takes the stretch off of this leg and puts it on the front of this leg. Turn. You can lean a little bit. That will add the stretch to the front leg. And then we'll go to the other side. Again, lean back on your support between stretches. We're going to tuck this knee in. We're going to lean on this hip, put your shoulder into your cabinet, and bend this knee. Turn, and it'll stretch here. If you don't feel the stretch here, pull your foot closer. Push your knee back. That knee position really affects it. If your knee is pointed this way, you're not going to get a good stretch. If your knee is pointed behind you when you turn, you'll feel the stretch. And that's a good leg stretching and exercising flow for if you have to remain seated on the floor because you're worried about passing out or something like that.